Look at these. Look how pretty these are. I am still bringing loads of sunflowers in from the field. And I mean, even if with this being the only thing that I am really kind of harvesting right now, we're getting chilly temperatures and it's cooler outside. And they're the only ones that are really happy out there, and I'm pretty okay with that. Hey, flower friends. It is really kind of harvesting right now. I have echo going on in here. Hey, friends. I am so glad you are here tonight. How about this? We still have sunflowers coming in from the garden, and this is the Pro Cut mix, except I actually have some of those Sunfill, which is not a Pro Cut. That's the one we grow for the bud to use as filler. And here it is. Look how pretty that is. It almost looks like a succulent, doesn't it? And look how pretty. This is the Sunfill Purple. Anyway, these suns are still rolling in, and I'm just pleased as punch about them. And I had to share them and show them with you guys tonight. So let's get started. Tonight is going to be a different run. So if we've never met before, folks, my name is Lisa Mason Ziegler, and I am the owner of the Gardener's Workshop, and I have been a commercial cut flower farmer for the last 25 years, and now I'm on a mission, and that mission is to really empower other people to be able to grow cut flowers, whether it's for profit or for pleasure or whatever your pleasure is, right? And I do that by kind of showing what's going on my farm all the time, and then doing these live gardening shows where I demonstrate, what I use and how I use it and why I use it. And that's what the whole story is about, right? Helping other people to do what we're doing. Now, tonight is a special show, and I was so thrilled to hear from Susie, is the producer of the show now. And she asked the entire team of TGW team, which there's about 17 of us, what is your favorite product and why? And that's what tonight's show is about, y'all. And I can't wait to share with you what these products are and why they love them. So we have the team picks tonight. I'm also gonna show you our big calendar proof that we have. That is so very exciting. As well as at the end, I'll do my normal live Q&A. So if you have a question that comes up during the show, in the comments, you can put @Lisa and then put whatever your question is, and I'll do my best to answer that at the end of the show. So a little bit of housekeeping, friends. We absolutely love it when you guys share about the show. And here's the share button right here down at the bottom. Inside the app, you can actually, hit that button and invite your friends and say, hey, come over to this live gardening show. It's a lot of fun. And we would love for you to do that. And we know that you do it because we have new people every single week, y'all. It's really pretty amazing. So thank you for sharing. Remember the housekeeping note. When you go to place your order, double check your email address for accuracy and your phone number. We have to have both of those to be able to ship to you. Here in the app, a really special thing is that when you order seed packets only, the shipping is on us. We want you to be able to purchase seeds when you actually meet them. And there's also a cap on product shipping of $11.95. No matter how many products you buy, you only pay $11.95 once, and we do ship to all 50 of the United States with no international shipping available. Now, if you just came upon us in Instagram or on Facebook, I am so glad you found us. But what I want you to know is that we have a phone app. It's free, and the experience, see all this happening, going on right here? That's our live viewers talking amongst themselves. And inside the app, you can do that. You can submit questions for the Q&A. You can comment. You can go back and watch replays. There's a lot of great stuff inside the app. To get the app, it doesn't take but about a minute. Go to your phone's app store, search Gardener's Workshop, And we have 2 apps. You want the shop app. That's where I'm inside of. You download it, it'll take 30 seconds, and then come right back over here and we'll be right here waiting for you. And we'd love for you to do that because we want you to have the very best experience that there is. Now, 2 more notes. One is we frequently sell out of things that I talk about during the live show. But if you go to put it in your cart and it says out of stock, get notified, I'd get notified because frequently the team will be bringing more stock over from our big website to the app because, friends, the app and the website are not friends. They do not talk to one another. And nobody's more pained about that than yours truly, but that's the way it is. So don't be worried about that notification. Hit it, and that just means you'll get a little ding on your phone, right? Now, if you're seeing people post the sunflower emoji, and that is our TGW family sending us some love. And who are they? They are our online course students and my members of my private flower farming club. See, a sunflower is part of our logo, and so that's kind of our flag item, and I love it when y'all do that. So thank you so very, very much. Now, before we jump in, because I have a great line of products here to show you some I haven't talked about in a long time. But first, I want to remind everybody, tonight is the last night at midnight to take advantage of the special offer on Flower Farming School Online, The Basics, which is my flagship course that started all of this online business, y'all. And the course is normally $695. It is on sale for $495. It is already an incredible value for $695. Not only have we taken $200 off the price, but there's a bonus training on succession planting. It's a video and it's a PDF with the plant, the flowers you should plant, how many you should start to go with the plan that I include with it for your first warm season tender annual planting. So after the show, if that's, tickling you, if you've been on the fence, now's the time to jump because that's an incredible value. And I can say to you wholeheartedly, if you purchase Flower Farming School and apply 5% of it to what you're doing, you will gain that money back tenfold as well as avoid so many mistakes, y'all. So I didn't want to not mention that. So first up we have, y'all know how bad I am about bringing the products up. I have to do it tonight. So let me get over here to where they are and get them started. All right. So, and I'm going to read you and introduce you to the people that work here that submitted their stuff, right? So the first product is the DIY blocking mix. And Jessie, who is our marketing director and manager, and Jessie writes, my favorite is the soil blocking nutrient mix. Is it flashy? Heck no. But it lets me make tons of soil blocks that I know will have the nutrients my little seedlings need to get started. These natural ingredients are hard to find elsewhere in powdered form. It's so convenient. So you need to know that Jessie lives in Kansas. She's a soil blocker. She was one of my students, y'all. That's how she kind of came to be a part of us. And she does a lot of seed starting, and this is her favorite. So this is the nutrient mix to make your own soil blocking mix at home. You add your peat moss or cocoa fiber and compost, sifted, and add this in, and it's got all the nutrients. And this one recipe, and I believe this says there's 12 recipes in here. So you add your compost, cocoa fiber, or peat moss and mix in the nutrient. The recipe's right here on the bag. It is $19.95. And you'll be going, this is green sand and rock phosphate. The key piece is it's powder. That's the hard thing that is to find. So this is Jessie's favorite DIY nutrient mix. All right, so let's see what we have next. Oh, my sister and Ann. So my sis, you've heard her talk about this before. So my sister, who is a gardener, she's been a farmer here on the farm, but she's a big home gardener. Ann is another one of our remote workers, and she's in North Carolina, and she's a farmer. And so this is what they write about the sod knives, and I'll show them to you in a second. My sis. The sod knife is my favorite. I use it to rip open bags of mulch, leaves, and compost. And I also use it to split perennials. So Ann writes that she uses it for so many special projects on her farm. She loves the sod knife. So she said, these are our go-to tools, and everyone who helps me on our farm grabs them first. So she uses it from harvesting to tearing down beds, to cutting netting out of beds that are overgrown, to cleaning up beds that are just being overtaken. She said, I finally had to order enough so everybody can have one. So these are the sod knives. And this is the little cover that's on it. You know, if you're old enough, you'll remember the Ginsu knife on TV. We used to see that advertisement growing up. This is exactly like a Ginsu knife, just meaning it never stops cutting. So here they are. This is the 2.5 and this is the 4.5. Yes, it is 4.5. They're both available separately for $9.95 each, or you can get both of them for $18.95. And I will tell you, anybody that does anything will want one of these. I use it for cutting the twine off my tiller when there's a string laying in the garden that somebody left and we get it wrapped around the tiller. I use it for harvesting greens, literally cutting plants out of the ground. You saw them out of the ground. These are the best little tools ever. And the price is amazing, right? I mean, we have used and sold these for years. So the side knives are Suzanne and Ann's favorite. I mean, we have one of these, the bigger ones, on every lawnmower and every tractor on this farm, because you just find stuff that you want to use it on. So that is the sod knife, and I totally love that. So Ann's a farmer in North Carolina, and of course, you know, you see my sis. She does the show with me here. So I was surprised a little bit by Bobo's pick. So Bobo, if you're not familiar, Bobo works here on the farm, and she's worked with me for probably 15 years now here on the farm. And she harvests and plants, and I mean, she is in the thick of all of it. So this is what Bobo says. I'm going to pick the kneeler. Oh, I guess I need to get that, and I need to click it. Wait a minute, y'all. Let me get my P's in a row here. So she says that I'm going to pick the kneeler. While I love the whole poker and gloves, life wouldn't be as comfortable without this padded kneeler. I took the one home that Tucker, my golden retriever, ate in half, and I am still using it. So she does. She and Elizabeth both have one of these here on the farm that they use when they're planting outside. This kneeler, look at it, it's 2 inches thick, y'all. It's super lightweight. Oh, I have it upside down. It's got a great little handle that you can carry it with. It's, I believe it is, that's the other, 15 by 20, made in the US of A. And friends, my husband uses one of these to work on his Harleys. I mean, down on concrete. So it's lightweight, and it's $42.95 plus shipping, $11.95. And this is something, first off, if you have anybody in your life that's getting down on their knees, this would be an excellent Christmas gift. But this is the kneeler, and I thought for sure that Bobo would pick, we've named it the Bobo Poker. That's the dandelion weeder that's like $8, I think, that she uses to poke the holes in the Bio 360, because she does most of the planting here on the farm. But I should have known she'd have picked the one that keeps her knees in pretty good shape. All right, so let's see where we are now. So next up is Andrew. So Andrew works here on the farm and works at the warehouse. Andrew has a long history with us. He worked here many years ago when he was a young adult, and then he went off and got married and then moved back here. And in fact, he is the one, y'all, that runs the Bio 360 machine that makes all these amazing little packages of bio. He's the one that packages the netting, all that kind of stuff. And so Andrew's pick says, and he works here on the farm, One of my favorite products is the Bio 360. It helps prevent weeds and saves a lot of work in the garden. And he knows this because that is frequently his job, is to hoe weed right after we've planted maybe, or tearing beds down. He'll definitely tell you the difference between beds that had Bio, that the plants grew up, and those that didn't have Bio and the weed invasion that goes on. So, Bio 360, it kind of looks like plastic, but it's not. It's made out of a corn byproduct, and it doesn't leave a chemical residue. It is compostable. You can use it with the black side up, which is what I do when I'm fall and winter planting, and we use the light side up when we're planting when it's warm to hot outside. And so let's see what we say here. So what it does is it works just like plastic. It blocks light from getting to the surface of the bed, which is what makes the weed seeds germinate when they get the light. So by putting this down, it is super easy to poke a hole in. I mean, you can use your finger, but I recommend the Bobo weeder because that's what Bobo uses for that. And you can, if you're in a landscape situation and you want to cover it, you can put mulch on top of it. It'll just break down ultimately. And so it comes in a couple of different sizes. It comes in, it's all 48 inches wide. You have a 20-foot piece, which is perfect for the home garden, $14.95. And then it also comes in a 50-foot piece that's $24.95. And then there's multi-packs. The more packs you purchase, the price goes down. So you can check all of that out on the site. I definitely attribute to me being able to scale my flower farm to this film because it just stopped so much of our weed growth that just allowed weeding not to be our number one issue, right? So that is the Bio 360, and that was Andrew, who he comes here on the farm. Usually he's coming here tomorrow, and he does a lot of mowing and runs the tractor and moves mulch and just does all that kind of stuff. And he's a big part of our team. All right, next up is Carrie, and Carrie is one of our seed packers. Did you know that we have seed packers? They package the seeds that you purchase from us. Literally, there is a person measuring and counting those seeds. So this is what Carrie says, and Carrie was actually a volunteer on my farm, I'm gonna guess 15 years ago, a long time ago. So she's a lifelong gardener, and this is what Carrie says. I love the Fort V all-purpose compost-based potting soil. One big bag, this is the 6-quart bag. She's talking about the 20-quart bag. Lasts most of the year. This makes the best soil blocks and offers fantastic germination. I just screen it and go. So the blocking mix does come, the 6-quart is available here in the app. If you would like to have the 20-quart bag, you can get that over on our website. And as she said, like for a home gardener, a 20-quart bag goes a long way. It's likely, it doesn't go bad as long as you keep it dry. And it is living soil. That's what's so different about our blocking mix. There's nothing sterile about it. It's living with, it's a compost-based soil. It's $15.95. And you can, as I mentioned, head to thegardenersworkshop.com to get a 20-quart bag if that's what fits your need. And so that was Carrie's favorite, is our blocking mix, which is one of our favorites also. All right, Lane. So Lane, is my co-host on Seed Talk. And Lane's favorite, I was not surprised by this choice at all. Lane's favorite pick was the small soil blocker, y'all. Oh, let me bring it up. Oh, y'all, sorry, I didn't even bring the blocking mix up. So let's just bring that up for a moment. And so it'll be in the feed for you, and sorry about that. So again, I want to say the blocking mix, this is the 6-quart bag, and you add 3 parts of the blocking mix to 1 part water. When I'm making soil blocks, I typically use that entire 6-quart bag. I pour it in the tub, and then I add about 6.5 cups of water. Sometimes I have to add a little bit more, but that's the right consistency of 3 parts of soil to 1 part water, okay? All right, so now let's move on to Lane's pick. And Lane is our seed manager and a co-host here on Seed Talk and the producer of that podcast. And this is what Lane says about the small blocker. I start almost every seed I grow in this small blocker. It is extremely space and soil efficient and grows beautiful transplants. I would not want to start seeds without it. And I have to tell you, if you happen to have the Cool Flowers from seed to vase, I think it's seed to vase. Y'all, we have so many different titles of things at this point, I can't remember. That big course on Cool Flowers, you know, Lane produced that. And those are her beautiful hands you see in there sowing the seeds. She does all of the seed starting demonstration because she is a very experienced seed starter and using the soil blocker. So let me show you how to actually do that. So I've got my tub here. And so in this tub, try not to knock stuff off, y'all. In this tub is that ready-made mix that I just showed you that was Carrie's favorite, right? And I've added the appropriate amount of water, and y'all, I have found that the potato masher is the very best mixing tool for once you put the water in. It's kind of like mixing concrete. So I've already added water, and you hold the tool on the stationary bar and just push it down into the mix a couple of times. And I just got my hand dirty. Wait a minute, y'all. My hand slipped off. And once my hand gets dirty, then I touch everything and get it dirty. All right. So you push it down into the mix, and then I use the potato masher to strike off any excess and to make it nice and flat on the bottom. Now, we use flat bottom trays with no ridges and channels in them and no drainage holes. You place the tool on the tray and just give it a squeeze, and y'all, just that quick. We just made 20 little perfect containers. And then you sow a seed in each one. You basically follow the same steps you would on other seed starting methods, but this just takes up a fraction of the space. It grows quicker and grows an incredibly healthy transplant. And we have so many resources to show you how to actually do that. All right, so, how's that? All right, so the small soil blocker, and here in the app, we have kits that include the course. There's the set where you can get both of them. So you can check those out. And so that was Lane's favorite. Now, Susie, who is operations, she is my right hand help and helps me so much. And she also is head of operations at the warehouse. And so Susie was a neighbor and a gardener, and she has just been budding as a gardener these last few years since we've kind of plunged her into the garden and farming scene here. And this is what Susie has to say. There are so many great products, and I really want to say the serrated scoop. If y'all have not seen that, that's not what her pick is. The serrated scoop that's in the app, I love that thing. Right now, for scooping up hellebore babies to transplant them, it's the bomb. She says the serrated scoop because it's amazing. The tick key totally works, and the copper plant markers are stunning. She's got all that stuff that she's using. But she says, I have to say, the heat mat, it's a must-have. I tried to start seeds without it, and no luck. Once I got the heat mat, I finally had seed starting success. So I totally agree with her. The heat mat, it's so funny. People resist buying the heat mat. The heat mat costs nowadays about the equivalent of about 7 packages of seeds. It's $39.95, right? And so they're willing to keep trying and wasting seeds because they just don't think they need it. And friends, I'm here to tell you, this is the secret. Seeds need 75 to 85 degrees in general, soil temperature, that's the signal to them to wake up and start sprouting, right? Well, if your house is 70 degrees, And you're thinking, I'm probably okay then. No, that's your air temperature. You need the soil temperature. The soil temperature in a home that's 70 degrees air temperature is 15 to 20 degrees cooler than the air temp. And guess what? This has a built-in thermostat that heats up this mat 15 to 20 degrees warmer than the air temperature, and thus explains why your seeds will germinate quicker, more uniformly, and just sprout when they're on the heat mat. And this is Susie's. I can remember when Susie made that jump and got a heat mat, and nobody was more surprised than her. So that was really awesome that she got it. And it's just always so nice when you finally take the plunge on something and you realize, how could I have not been doing this all this time? And I'm just going to plug this in here. That's exactly how I feel about flower farming school, y'all. I mean, to have me backing you up with information, having a tool with everything you need to know. It's all in the course. And if it's not in the course, we have a private Facebook group where you can ask me the question. I mean, it's like once you do it, you just don't realize how you've done without it. It builds your confidence and guides you. It's a roadmap. So I felt like that really aligned with how Susie felt about the heat mat. All right, next up is Kelly. Kelly, Kelly is my niece. Started here as a seed starter, as a new mama 15 years ago or something. And now she's the COO of the company, runs the IT, is the website design updater, overseer, take care of customers. I mean, she's just in charge of everything, right? So this is what Kelly says, and I was not surprised by her pick because I know she loves taking flowers and having flowers. Kelly says, as a home gardener, my most loved and most used tool is definitely my shears. Oh, let me bring the shears up. Wait a minute. All right. There's the shears. I've had the same pair for years and used them for everything. Seasonal garden work, trimming houseplants, and cutting bouquets I bring home from the farm. I even have a second pair for my son who loves helping out in the garden. That's Eli. And so the shears are an all-time favorite, and I didn't bring mine over here. But these are lightweight. They're bonsai shears, actually, and we absolutely love them. This is also a great sister, girlfriend, anybody that you give a gift to that gardens at all. All of my family have a pair of these in their kitchen, cutting bouquets that they get from us, as well as you just don't want to be without it if you have a cutting garden. They'll absolutely love them. And they are $41.95, and there's just nothing else like them. I have tried so many other brands, y'all, and this is the one that we've used these probably now for like 15 years. All right, up next is Karen. Karen is our buyer and our warehouse manager. She oversees shipping and fulfillment and making sure we have everything in stock, right? So this is what Karen has to say. Okay, I'm going with the stem stripper. It's a great tool for not only removing thorns from roses, but foliage from stems. And have y'all not seen this? This is the best little tool. So you stick a stem in there and then you just strip it and it saves your hands. You know what I used these for? Back when we were harvesting tons of flowers all the time, we used a ton of hydrangeas. I mean, a boatload. And even with my gloves on, my hands still just got really beat up from stripping those tough leaves. This stem stripper is just the best. And they come in assorted colors, so you just purchase and we send you the next one that's in line. The stem stripper is $22.95, and it'll also do roses or thorny things, but we love it for stripping, and you can even use it to strip sunflower leaves. So the stem stripper is Karen's pick, and it's a favorite for me too. I haven't talked about that in a long time. Now, Harach, who is another one of, he's more than a seed packer. Harach is actually Lane's husband, and he helps her in managing the seed department, does a ton of seed packing, and they're big gardeners, both of them. And this is what Harach has to say. He picked the Japanese, I almost said the Mexican, the Japanese hand hoe. And he says, this is my go-to tool for weeding in the garden. It saves me so much time. I can stop and smell the roses, or at least the sweet peas, since we don't grow roses. I almost picked the tick key, but the Japanese hand hoe won out. So where they live is heavily wooded, lots of ticks, but they also have quite a garden to take care of. So Harach, and let me bring it up, y'all. I am so bad, I didn't bring the stem stripper up. So I'm gonna bring Karen's stem stripper back up to give you a chance to hit the button and to get it in the ribbon. So if you wanna go back and shop. And as I mentioned, when we were in high production, between the sunflowers, which we cut 1,200 a week of just sunflowers, and hydrangeas, I used one of these all the darn time. Now, here is the Japanese hand hoe. So it comes in a left-hand model and a right-hand model. And what I really want to tell you about this is the item we always run out of at Christmas time. It just doesn't really matter how many we buy. We never buy enough. These are a great pick for anybody that gardens outside, that does anything outside in a garden. And it'll ask you whether you want a left or a right when you're actually checking out. It's $29.95, and we absolutely love it. This is what I use to draw the trough, to direct seed in. I use it for grading, when you're down on your knees and you want to flatten the surface out so you can plant seeds or plant plants or whatever. This is the best tool ever. We absolutely love it. We have sold this for like 20 years. So the Japanese hand hoe is Harach's pick, and I think a lot of people would have picked that one. All right, so up next, Lynn, who is our customer service specialist or our customer care specialist. So this is what Lynn said, and I was really, Lynn's been with us since April, I believe. And, so you never know what they might pick when they've just been dumped into all this stuff that we offer, right? And talk about and use. And she's talking to customers about it. But this is what Lynn said. I'm in love with the Hori Hori knife. This is it, y'all. With a straight edge on one side and a serrated the other, you can dig in the garden, cut pesky tree roots as you go. It's sold in the holster that has a loop to attach to a belt, so it's always near at hand. And there's a bonus: can work for wilderness self-defense. I work with the greatest people, y'all. All right, so this is the Hori Hori. My sister would agree. This is a favorite for her also. This is right up there with the sod knife. Suzanne calls this the rock harvester. It is super heavy duty. You can see the blade goes down into the handle. I don't think we have ever replaced one of these. I mean, nobody's ever broken one. This is for planting. I love when I'm planting 2-inch blocks. Stick it in the ground and pull it back. It makes the perfect hole for a 2-inch block. The Hori Hori has a lot of different uses, and we absolutely love it. It's $46.95. And my sis loves telling the story that when we were, traveling and doing so many shows, y'all, we were doing Master Gardener events, garden club events, and big Christmas shopping shows. We always took a lot of Hori Horis, and I'm telling you, we'd always put them right out on the front of our table where people would be walking by, and the men could not walk past it. They always had to stop, pick it up, inspect it, frequently buy it. But this is a good one. I mean, somebody that hunts even, it's just a really great tool to have when you're out in the wilderness, in your garden, or wherever. So that was great, Lynn. All right, now it's my turn. What do y'all think mine's gonna be? Any guesses? And I am going to, and I did not bring the Hori Hori up, y'all. I am so easily distracted. So I have brought the Hori Hori up. And I will tell you that they're Japanese made. The sod knife, the hori hori, and the grass weeders are all come from the same company that we have sold their products for over 15 years and absolutely love them. So the hori hori has come up, so it's in the feed and you can get to it. And friends, I'm pretty sure y'all know what my favorite is. And my favorite is definitely the big calendar journal. So this is the proof, y'all. This is still the proof, and actually the cover on the actual calendar will be glossy. It is so beautiful in gloss, y'all. So beautiful. But this is kind of like a peekaboo of the things that are inside, and I'm going to try to just show you a little bit. Here is the first page. This is the treasure right here. This is the 9 succession planting windows with all the instructions on how to figure out for your garden. This calendar is for all areas everywhere, y'all. This does not tell you how I plant. This is like the equation of what I do so that you can plug in your first and last frost and your lowest winter temperature to know when your planting windows are. It has everything you need, and here's a QR code, and I'll tell you about that in just a second. I want to take you to the second page. So this is what is so great about this calendar are these giant size. So this is 1 month. My hand is covering the top. You write in the dates. They're any year calendars. That means that you could, say, for instance, you could buy 2 to get 1 shipping charge, right? And then have 1 for now and 1 for next year because you write in the dates. It's got the month written at the top. But look at the size of these days. See here, this is 1 day. You have plenty of room to write this is a product of what I've done on my farm for 15 years. You know, if you read any of my books or taken any of my courses, big courses, I talk about the big calendar that runs my farm. We have now produced it for you. There's tips at the bottom of every month, kind of reminders, things to think about. And friends, that QR code that is on that instruction page actually takes you to my seed starting worksheet that's about 6 pages. It has all my favorite cutting garden flowers. I think there's like 66 in here. And it has the pertinent information that after you follow those 9 steps for the planting windows, you can sit down with this and figure out when you're supposed to start seeds. But here is the best part, I think. All pre-purchasers, everyone that pre-orders, is going to be invited to a live workshop where I'm going to walk you through those 9 planting windows and how you actually are going to mark up your calendar for the planting windows. And then it's going to be easy for you to take this information that tells you how many days it needs to germinate, how many weeks it is before you're going to actually plant and before you're going to start the seed. And this has got cool season and warm season seeds. So friends, no surprise, I am sure, that the big calendar is my pick. And that is where, fingers crossed, we'll be shipping that at the end of November. But y'all will be the first to know when I have a target date of when the printer is going to be releasing that to us. And we are so excited about it. I am so excited about it. It's going to change people. It is going to simplify and create a 3-season cutting garden for folks. Because, part of our problem, and I was the leader at this, we overcomplicate things. And this calendar is what simplified my view of succession planting and made me the succession planner that I am today. It's good for all regions, no matter where you live, because you plug in your numbers to get your answers, right? And it's $39.95. It's 12 months, and it's an any year, meaning that you can write in the dates. And so, my friends, that is the products that are the favorites of the team here at the Gardener's Workshop. And, it would just make me feel good to know that our people use our stuff. I mean, it's just really, really nice. So now it is time to wrap up. And I will answer some questions. If you have a question, remember to post it in the comments. And just type @Lisa in the comments and put whatever your question is. I'll be happy to try to answer it. But I just want to remind everybody, there are so many great resources over at thegardenersworkshop.com. Videos, blogs. You can connect with both of our podcasts, Seed Talk and Field and Garden. And if you enjoyed our team picks and you want to learn more about gardening, growing beautiful cut flowers, then you can pick up one of my books. And they are actually not in the lineup. They're in the app. You can find them. Of course, Cool Flowers is the book that started it all. And I sign all the books. They all come with a bonus. Cool Flowers comes with a video book study. Then my book, Vegetables Love Flowers, is not about growing vegetables, y'all. It's about why growing flowers in your vegetable patch benefits your vegetables and how to do it on a little cutting garden. But it also includes my natural philosophy on not using pesticides in your garden, and how to go about and doing all of that. And then, of course, the book that is actually the perfect companion for the calendar, the Cut Flower Handbook. This features over 66 different cool season and warm season flowers. It also comes with a bonus PDF download of the 6 flowers I could not fit in the book, y'all. So all 3 of the books are available here in the app, and would love to actually sign one of those and put them in a box to you. And I want to just say, before we jump into our questions, a couple things. Remember to join us Friday at 12 noon right here inside the app for the noon show, and then next Wednesday at 8 p.m. I'll be here. And be sure you turn your notifications on in your app, because I'm known to do like pop-up shops, y'all, where I just jump on here and do a live show. But the only way you'll know it is if your notifications are turned on, right? And so remember that you can also find us on Ask a Flower Farmer on Wednesdays on Instagram at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And the biggest reminder is there are still 3 hours and 17 minutes left to get Flower Farm and School online, the basics, for $495, saving $200, plus getting my 6-session planting mini training bonus. And you'll find that information over at thegardenersworkshop.com. It's at the top of every page. Would love to see you in school if that is your hope and dream of starting a flower farming business. And friends, we offer a money-back guarantee on our courses. Is you reach out within 7 days of purchasing it via email and say, hey, it's not what I thought. No questions asked. So you buy it with no risk. But I think you'll find it is incredibly deep and wide. It'll be a lifelong tool. But I highly recommend diving into it at the beginning. As soon as you stop harvesting, which is so time consuming, to dedicate 4 hours a week to actually continue an education in your business, and Flower Farm and School will change your view, I am pretty sure, on stuff. And would love to see you in my private group. All right. So let me get to where the questions are. And I see lots of folks in here. Hey, everybody. See some sunflowers. Those are people that are our online course students or members of my club, many of them both. And so, hey, everybody. Thank you so much. Tina, in regards to seedlings, you say you use Neptunes and sometimes compost tea mix. Under what conditions would you use compost tea? Can compost tea replace Neptune's harvest? No. So that's a really great question, Tina. So I, on Mondays, put Neptune's Harvest, which is the seaweed fish fertilizer, into my watering can to feed all of my plants, right? And then on Wednesdays is when I use the fungus gnat, bits in my watering can to prevent a fungus gnat breakout. And then on Fridays, occasionally, I put our compost tea bags, which you just drop it into the gallon of water for the next day and let it steep overnight, where the compost tea does have some minor nutrients in it. It really offers biology and just makes your soil healthier, more absorbent, holds more water. So they don't replace one another. And I just do it when I think about doing it. So Noelle, I don't know that I would do it, Tina, every single week, but a couple of times a month, unless of course you're moving seedlings through and it's different seedlings, right? So it just really depends on your situation. I find about every other week does pretty good for us. And then I have to remember to actually do it. But thanks for asking. That was a great question. Flower farmer, Wanda is home from vacation today. So Wanda is a Alaskan peony grower, Fox Hollow, and she always comes south during this time of the year. She actually vacations a couple times a year, I think, and she went home to 4 inches of snow today. My goodness. Melissa asks, how fast does the Bio 360 break down? That is a great question. So we typically, like for instance, we put it down in fall for fall planting, and we plant in it, and it goes through winter, and those plants quickly grow up and create a canopy on top of it, like next April and May. When we're cutting flowers, short of somebody standing on the sides of it and ripping it or hitting it with a mower, it's still there holding up. I mean, typically when we get to the end of our crops and we've just been working on that bed a lot and we've had a lot of weather, that's when it starts to break down. But we find that it doesn't just start to break down. It's when we start messing with it, like ripping the irrigation up or mowing, is when we see that it's going to break down, and then you can turn it into your soil. And the same thing in the summer. It'll go, they say, I think 3 to 6 months on the packaging, and I find that to be very true. I have never really had it break down early, and it breaks down once we turn it in really, really well. And there's Carrie, one of our seed packers, said she's packing right now. Her favorite was the soil blocking mix. Melissa, Lisa, have you ever had any issue with cats going after your seedlings or plants when you use the Neptune? Melissa, yes. I haven't personally, but Susie can tell you stories. I mean, her dog eats her soil blocks when she uses Neptune's Harvest. Tucker will lick it off of plants, not realizing he's destroying them. So yes, that is definitely a deal. And I will tell you that we just got samples based on a suggestion from one of y'all about an organic liquid fertilizer that doesn't smell. And I'm going to test it out. So I don't even know the name of it yet. The box is sitting over there. I don't even see what the name of it is. But y'all be the first to know for that very reason. Lisa, so the seeds we are purchasing from are from plants that you grow on the farm. No, they are not, Tina. I grow from the same seeds that we're selling you. We buy the seeds from big seed houses. That's where all seeds come from. All the big packagers of seeds, the big store, online shops that sell seeds. We all buy seeds from distributors. There's a couple that we actually had grown custom for us, the poppy pods, the rooster peppers, a coxcomb called Jura salmon, and Texas plumes. Those 4, we hired a seed grower to actually grow them. But no, we do not grow the seed here on the farm. I grow my flowers. I sell you the same seeds that we also grow from. And in fact, my seeds come off the same shelf as yours. We just send a list up to the warehouse. So that was a good question. I recently sold my crop of Gumphrena I purchased from you, and he told me it was the best he'd ever seen. Do you sell the seed in bulk? No, Emily, I mean, there's, I think, jumbo packs, and if they aren't jumbo packs, that's something that we have in the works of creating larger volume of seeds. But no, we don't sell bulk seed. But thank you for asking, and that was really good to hear. Jenny, I'm guessing the holder for your clippers. I can't wait. Thank you for spelling it out for us. I must have missed something in that confirmation. Lisa, do you know when they'll be shipped? If you're Margaret, if you're speaking of the calendars, y'all will be the first to know. We make no commitment until those pallets are on their way to us. We have multiple pallets coming. And we've just learned to not, that's why we say our goal is to ship the end of November, and my fingers are crossed that that will come to pass, right? So y'all will be the first to know, and you will get, if you've ordered one, you'll get a tracking ticket in the mail as soon as we pack your order. When will the workshop be for the ones who pre-ordered the calendar? So we're waiting to hear when we're supposed to expect the calendars before we set that date, because we want a 2-week probably window from the time that we receive them, and we do that because we want the most people to have their calendar to actually be able to go through it. What is your soil blocking mix again? Lisa, it's on our website. Under resources, I think it's all things soil blocking, but it's basically peat moss compost, green sand, and rock phosphate, and the measurements are in that recipe that you can get. Lisa, do you put your T-posts in at the time of planting your sweet peas? No, we don't do any trellising until very early spring. How do you ensure that you don't damage the roots if placing them later? Because, I mean, there's only like one post every 10 feet or something, and you just put a post in between. My sweet peas are about 12 inches apart now is what I do. So I don't worry about that. And even if if you would never put it right up against a plant, right? But if you put a post here and here's your plant, those roots will be fine. It's like pruning them. They'll be fine. Could you share your soil mix for blocking? So I just said that. Jenny, I'm wondering about crop rotation. If I plant a flower in the ground in spring, pull it out and put a summer flower in the same spot, now for spring, can I plant flowers in that same spot again, or should I go elsewhere for rotation? So Jenny, that's actually one of the things that is on the calendar, on the back page of the calendar, are some really timely tips. And one of them is my 30,000 view and way of succession planting, which makes you rotate. Whether you have an acre or a 20-foot bed, you can apply the same principle. And I don't even think about rotation. All I do is succession plant, and by following my succession planting plant blocks, it just naturally does rotation. And so we make it so difficult, right? Totally different story if you've got disease in your soil or you've had some kind of problem. But when you just don't have problems, you just follow along with a succession plan and you're covered. Lisa, my cool hardy plants are healthy in the raised bed still. Recently, heavy frost did not kill the foliage. The plants are 8 to 10 inches tall. So Lisa, the bottom line is, if you planted cool season hardy annuals that are winter hardy in your winter hardiness zone, that's right, they don't get killed. A row cover definitely enhances their growing, but it's not required. We only plant those cool season annuals that survive winter in my winter hardiness zone. All of that information, that's what's on the seed starting worksheet. It's in the cut flower handbook. It's on the website on each seed page. So that's real easy information. Susanna, Lisa, with the shorter days, sun position in my yard changes due to a fence. A very sunny area in my yard during the summer does not get direct sun now. My winter plants do okay without the sun requirement during the winter. They aren't shaded. The sun just doesn't make it directly on the bed. I know exactly what you're talking about. My Joe beds, which is some of our big demonstration beds, I have discovered, because I planted our cut flower kale out there, does not get direct sunlight until like 1 o'clock, I have discovered. In the summer, it gets full sunlight starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I think they'll be fine. And as the sun changes position in early spring, hopefully that will resolve itself. But see how they do. If they struggle at all, that's the problem. You need to relocate, right? Carrie, sign my calendar. Carrie, I wished I could. I wished I could sign that many calendars. Hope they will make it. Hope they will make it come spring. Our first in Illinois has been late this year. Sorry, Lisa, I don't get that. See, I was nervous about putting my seedlings out with the Neptunes. You know, out in the garden, because I have a deer fence now, that's one thing I don't have to worry about anymore. But yeah, you just have to see who it draws. But yeah, cats, that would be bad. Could you share your soil mix again? Does powdery mildew stay in the soil? Yes, powdery mildew, it has spores. And if you drop the foliage, which we do it, we have no choice. When we were cutting thousands of zinnias every week, and they always have mildew at some rate, yes, it does. So in a perfect world, if you're a home gardener and if you have mildew, I would take a bag out there with me and strip right into it and put it in the trash can. Do not compost it. And that just minimizes. That's not going to get rid of it, but it's going to help you not encourage it, right? Oh, thank you, Lisa. Love your show. All right, my friends, it looks like that is everything. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I loved sharing my team's favorites, and y'all will be the first to know about this calendar. I've decided yesterday that I'm going to stop fretting over it. I have no real control. We've done all the pieces, and everything is in alignment, and the job is in the works now, and it's out of our control. And we work with a wonderful printer. They used to print our catalogs. They're incredibly professional and incredibly big printers. And I just feel confident. And y'all will be the first to know. And, this is my attitude now. We do everything we can, and then it is what it is. And then we'll just do our best to make everything work, right? All right. All right, my friends.